Good morning and happy Easter. Good to see you here. Let's join in a prayer for preparation for worship. Lord, lead us into your presence. Draw us into your presence. Bring us close to each other and to you in our worship. Lead us through this hour, through the week and the years ahead. Let our worship be even more than 3 hymns, 2 prayers, and a sermon. Let it be our living, our loyalty, our faithfulness to you. Guide us now as we prepare. In Jesus' name, amen. Let us unite in the prayer for illumination printed in your worship bulletin. Let us pray together in unison. Lord, help us to catch the wonder and the awe of those folks who first discovered Jesus had risen. Let us experience that same excitement and dedication now in our own church and share that amazing joy. In Jesus' name, amen. Our epistle reading is from the letter to the Colossians, chapter 3, at verse 1. Listen for God's word to us. So, if you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. For you have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. When Christ, who is your life, is revealed, then you also will be revealed with him in glory. Here ends our epistle reading. Our gospel reading is from the Gospel according to John, chapter 20, at verse 1. Listen for God's word to us. When Mary recognizes Jesus, she looks at him kind of surprised and says, not rabbi, really teacher, but Rabboni, which is literally my teacher. However, it's the endearment form of it, so it would translate really as kind of my beloved teacher. And it's also a reference to God as being the great teacher. Two angels are in the tomb when the disciples look in later, or Mary looks in later. Two is valid witness in court. So since there are two angels there, we can believe anything that they say, and we can trust anything that they communicate. Resurrection is more than Jesus coming back to life. It's Jesus bridging two worlds. That's the biggie. Let's listen to what happened. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we don't know where they have laid him." And Peter and the other disciples set out and went toward the tomb. The two were running together, but the other disciple outran Peter and got to the tomb first. He bent down to look in and saw the linen wrappings lying there, but he did not go in. Then Simon Peter came following him and went into the tomb. He saw the linen wrappings lying there and the cloth that had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple, who reached the tomb first, also went in, and he saw it and believed. For as yet they did not understand the scripture that the Messiah must rise from the dead. Then the disciples returned to their homes. But Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb. She saw two angels sitting there in white, where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head, the other at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." When she said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Who are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have taken him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and to your Father, to my God and to your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. Here ends the gospel reading. This is God's holy word, and it can be trusted. Now, contrary to the way your bulletin reads, we have another item in the worship service, because as I came in, I noticed that we have a whole lot of folks here who obviously are very youthful. Now, some it's first youthfulness, and others it's second youthfulness, but very youthful. And therefore, for those of you who have not yet graduated high school, or who want to celebrate having taken your Social Security check, that's second childhood, you're welcome to come forward down the center aisle, and I'll meet you there. There we go. Well, yes. Two more brave souls coming here. That's cool. Hi. Wow. You got nice headbands too. Last year on Palm Sunday, we did a Palm Sunday cheer for Jesus because he was coming into Jerusalem. But this year, we're after Palm Sunday. It's Easter, and we're celebrating resurrection. So this year, we get to do the Easter cheer, that is the one for Jesus rose, kind of thing. And Jesus couldn't be stopped by being dead. And we say death couldn't hold Jesus in the tomb. Jesus was victorious over death. So this is the victory cheer. We'll do it together if I can get this stick. We'll do the cheer anyway. The cheer works like this. It's simply the word victory. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. Victory. And it works like V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. All day, Sunday, hear us cry. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. We got it? We got it. Okay, let's do it. Victory, hit it. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. All day, Sunday, hear our cry. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. Yeah. Are we good? Huh? What did you say? Oh. She said that you all shouldn't be left out on this. You need your turn too. So everybody stand up, and we will thank you for your leadership. Don't worry about left or right. Are we ready? Victory, hit it. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. All day, Sunday, hear our cry. V-I-C-T-O-R-Y. Very good. Thank you all. Is not a Pentecostal church in the state of Michigan that holds a candle to you all. Then the other disciple who had reached the tomb first also went in, and he saw and believed. In the name of our Creator, our Redeemer, and God's loving presence, let us pray. O Lord, open our eyes that we may behold wondrous things in your word. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight. O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. That must have been kind of an amazing experience and confusing when Mary and whoever all might have been with her first saw the tomb and Jesus' body was missing. Now, they'd heard stuff said when Jesus was teaching, but you hear things. Hey, let's face it. How long are you going to remember the sermon next week? It's okay. I understand this. I can't remember it next week myself. So naturally, Jesus' teaching over 3 years, and depending when it got said and in what context, the situation it got said, how long are they going to remember it? Yeah. Nobody was expecting a tomb without Jesus' body in it. There it was. Yet Jesus did exactly what Old Testament prophecy said the Messiah would do. He rose. Great. Do we believe it? Well, it's unusual, that's for sure. Different. And we need to kind of pick up what it was that Jesus said and did. Now, to stay faithful to that one who first led us. It was Bunker Hill Military Academy graduation time, and one of the faculty was a graduation speaker, Professor Stiver. Professor Stiver said something to those young men that I think applies to everyone. At least I need to hear it. What he said to them was this: find someone who has made a difference in the world, draw close to that person, and absorb the meaning of their success. Absorb the meaning of their success. That's a clue, isn't it? At least it is for me. As kind of a reminder, draw close to Jesus to catch the meaning of Jesus' success. Not just a rip-raw-ree cheer for resurrection, and sure, it's exciting. But also, what difference does that make in your life and in my life? What do I do differently, think differently, dare differently, because Jesus actually rose from the dead? Unusual. Almost tough to believe. And yet, there it is, and the body isn't any longer. And yet, Easter, the body does appear again outside of the tomb, and talks, eats, knows, communicates. Yeah. Rose back from death and living, breathing, eventually ascending, and still looking to you and to me to trust believe, and follow. Not that we're going to ascend right away, but to do what Jesus asked. Mainly, share the word. He is risen. That is the core message of Easter, core message of Jesus, as it affects you and me, because however strongly we believe it, that's how strongly I will dare to live the way Jesus has invited me and invites you to live also. Think about that difference that faith makes and how it flavors the understanding of things. Let's put it this way. There was a mature lady who was having a birthday party. And her friends were congratulating her and enjoying the cake and the ice cream and the goodies and all that. And one of them commented to her, said, "My, you are beautiful." Instantly responded back, "Well, I ought to be. I'm 96. Well, yes. And that is a special kind of beauty. It's not structural, it's integral. It's not cosmetic, it is who the person is. Who the person is. Well, for believing Christians, we're not just believing, but we know that Jesus rose, and we, at our levels of maturity and progress in the faith, wherever, are willing to live and dare to live on that truth. Yes. It's structural. It is not cosmetic. It is who we are. Definitely identifies us, sets us apart. Faith is beyond belief, goes past the level of belief and moves into that being of, yes, I think that's right, but because it's right, I am willing to act. It's kind of a scientific process where in the laboratory we put together some chemicals and discover that there's going to be a kind of reaction. The researchers plan it, they expect it, but until they do it, they aren't absolutely 100% certain that the chemicals are going to combine in that way and there will be that particular result. But once they do it, then they have some confidence and assurance. Now, who cares what happens in the laboratory? It's kind of the Harvey Firestone thing, where he was heating up the rubber on the stove, and it got a little overheated, and he discovered the vulcanization process for rubber, for car tires. Now, he understood that heating the rubber on the stove and getting it melted was part of an anticipated process and anticipated result. But until he discovered actually what happened to that rubber, heated, melted to a particular temperature, he didn't know what would happen. But then he moved to faith. Yes, it happens on the stove in the kitchen. Now, will I borrow a couple of $1 million, which back then was worth some money, And will I build a factory, hire people, and proceed to use that principle, not on the kitchen stove anymore, but to produce Firestone tires? That's what it means by moving from faith, knowing, to daring to act on it, and building a wealth and a rubber tire empire, and having a patent and success. There's a certain amount of, and a certain type of success of boiling that rubber on the stove. But when I dare to produce a tire and market it, that's another level of success and another level of faith, moving from the kitchen stove to daring to accomplish. God is looking to us to take that extra step. Jesus rose, and I'm glad. Now, on Tuesday morning, what difference will that make? It's more than a matter of belief. It's faith in action. Jesus rose for you. Jesus rose for me. And we are together called and invited by him to live that belief, to dare action, to be God's different people, because he is risen. Calendar notes for our congregation are posted in your bulletin. Is there any other news that we need to share? Yes.
As you can see, we have Easter lilies in celebration of Easter and in memory of our loved ones. Please remember to take yours home if you purchased one. There are 4 extra ones if someone would like to take one home or has someone that would like to share it.
Thank you. Okay, joys and concerns. Right side aisle, right center, left center, left side. Let us unite in prayer. Lord, thank you for your truth. Thank you for the wonder, the mystery, the joy of this day. You have blessed us so many times in so many ways through the past year. We look forward to the year ahead. Fill it with your promise. Fill it with your faithfulness. Fill us with trust. We ask your blessing on our church in transition. Guide us, guide the pastor nominating committee, working together to find a new permanent pastor for our congregation. We pray your guidance on your world. Lord, our leadership needs your wisdom. We pray for the people in Ukraine being hurt so seriously. We pray for President Putin. Give him more of your spirit and less of a need to be in control. Lord, teach us how to share compassion in tangible ways, how to share love and support in constructive ways. Make us your ambassadors for Christ in this situation also. We pray for your guidance in all parts of the world. We lay before you those who are hurt by fires, natural disasters. We pray for those who were hurt by indiscretion, by poor choices. We pray for those who are the victims simply of circumstance. God, shelter each with your love and with your care. Restore each through Jesus Christ, our Savior. Hear the prayers that we have offered. Hear us as together we pray the prayer that Jesus taught, saying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Edna Woolman Chase was the editor of Vogue magazine for nearly 60 years. She wrote in her biography, Always in Vogue, style in clothing, and fashion and clothing can be bought. Style comes from within. Let that which is within you show forth to God's glory and a witness to this community. Go in joy, go in peace. Happy Easter.